Welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. I'm your host, Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is the only video I'm making tonight. This is a chit chat. I've had a really interesting day. We're just going to leave it at interesting day. Some things were worth talking about. Some things were not. I learned how not to fuck up a printer machine at work today. I printed out my new cast list for my story, Sundown. So hopefully I won't have to add anybody else to it, and they will be the last 6 pages of the book when it's done, because I'm going to copy everything and paste it at the end. I'm debating, and so I'm asking y'all if I should have 5 chapters. I'm debating because I'm in chapter 3, and I can make that like the longest chapter and then end it with 4 and 5, which seems more like a plan because I kind of want to have this done before November. I don't know if I really want to go over 500 plus pages, plus do a prologue or a eulogy. I'm not sure what the fuck that shit's called, but it's at the end of most books. Let's ask Google. Maybe Google can help me because I'm not dumb. I just don't know what some things are called. Just because you have a lack of knowledge doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means you have a lack of knowledge. Today, give me the talking option. Yeah, what do you call the story after the story at the end of a book? What do you call the story after the story at the end of a book? My God. Why? Why is Google not my friend? Let's try it again. What do you call the story after the story end is called? How the hell do you say that?
According to Wikipedia, an epilogue is the final chapter at the
That's
end of
it.
a story
An
that often
epilogue.
serves to reveal the fates of the characters.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to have an epilogue. I couldn't think of the name of the shit to say in my life. I know what it's called. I just didn't know how to say it or the name of it. An epilogue. Let me click on what that means by Wikipedia. Come on. It's not giving me shit. Oh. What comes after an epilogue? Uh-oh. Now the Wikipedia. I hate technology, man. Epilogue. It's Greek. Conclusion. Alright. So now we know it's a conclusion. Alright, what comes after an epilogue? An afterwork. The epilogue provides further details that precede work after a fiction, effectively becoming the conclusion section of the tying up loose ends. An afterwork provides further details and proceedings of the work of fiction or nonfiction, becomes more perspective of the author and the committer. Okay, so I need to keep this video just to make sure that I understand an epilogue and an afterword. I don't know why it's called an afterword, but I don't think I'm going to do an afterword. I might do an epilogue and then put the cast list behind the epilogue. But while we're here, I'm going to break out my glasses and I'm going to read an outskirt or an exskirt or whatever the fuck you call it. I'm going to give you a preview of what happens. I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to go in. So, first things on this thing is reader's notes, so we're going to start here. Moonstone Reservation, the time is now just south of midnight. On a normal Friday night, that means it is 11:55 p.m. for those who who aren't up to speed, the meaning of South of Midnight, a young woman's life is about to change. Well, her life will never be the same as the midnight hour starts to creep up on her. Most people know their future and will hold everyone and always looking forward to a great future. But tonight, the future of Sally Ann Tomahawk, age 21, college student, is about 4.5 days. So then it goes on. All right? It's not even going to be 4.5 days. Tonight, her life will change. The sounds of screams drown out in the sky as a young woman, Sally Ann Tomahawk, is being slayed by someone who's familiar to this young indigenous Native American woman who visited her home from college. Sally Ann Tomahawk is a Lakota woman who just started her life as it is being taken from her by a fellow classmate who has no business on the Lakota reservation. Her murderer is a young man who she had rejected his sexual advances from the day they met over 2 years ago at a college that they attended. Now you skip down and you have the dialogue. So she's pleading for her life. Please stop. Jason, please don't kill me. So now you know his name is Jason. You should have dated me when I asked you to. Now you won't be dating anyone ever again. See, Sally? If I can't have you, no one will. And no one's going to miss you. Someone will miss me, Jason. My family, my classmates, my reservation. Where we are right now. Well, you're in the middle of nowhere. That means no one can hear you scream, and no one is coming to save you. Please, Jason. Please, I'm begging you. I promise I won't tell anyone if you just let me go home. Fuck that, bitch. Do you think I'm fucking stupid? No, I know you aren't stupid. Just stop stabbing me before it's too late. Go back, Jason. It's already too damn late to go back, you dumb bitch. I want to see you suffer, bitch. I want you to die. That's all you get. It's called Sundown. And this is the first, because the staple wouldn't let me go all the way through. So this is the first 19 pages. And this is 20 through 33. So this is the first 33 pages. And I'm currently up to 209, I think. And I'm going to stop chapter 1 at whatever. I might be up to 109. I don't know where the hell I am. But I know that I'm up there and everything has been changed except for Jason. His name is still Jason. Some people just got added today, so I had to change the cast list. I had to destroy my old cast list, which is over there, and my new cast list is also over there inside my bag. So you have that outskirt, and you can pretty much figure what's going to happen, because he's stabbing her. He's also going to do some other malicious shit to her as she breathes her last breath. And the unfortunate incident is going to have a family member find her. So, before I go any further, I'm writing this book to make sure everyone is aware that Sundown towns do exist, and that there are places where people like me are not supposed to be after midnight. And sometimes even law enforcement have been known to be involved in this shit. So hopefully this book will sell once I get finished writing it, and hopefully it will sell and sell well, and everybody will wake the fuck up and realize how racist that America actually can be. Not Americans, but America itself. Not all Americans are racist. Let's get that right off the bat. Not all Americans are racist, but every American has the option to be racist, because nothing is ever done about it. So this will bring attention to missing and murdered indigenous people, Y'all know I'm part Native, so I want to make sure that that is definitely the forefront of this book. The second thing it brings is something to the alphabet community. Because, spoiler alert, her cousin's going to get murdered in less than a week or two after she gets murdered in the Sundown town. Therefore, that's why it's called Sundown. But he doesn't die in a conventional way. He dies in a very fucked up ass way. And luckily, I wrote all that shit, so that part's done. I'm not going to tell you guys when the book sells and you read it, you're going to be mad, but you're going to be okay with the death because he goes out like a champ. He doesn't go out like a sucker or anything like that. He actually puts up a pretty good fight, a much better fight than she does. And how he's found, you're going to get mad because I'm working on the aftermath of how they found him. The main cop is a hero. His name is Hawk Aaron Longfeather. He is a member of the U.S. Marshals. And I'm going to tell you why I brought that up in a minute. The thing is, you have a hierarchy of law enforcement. And I touch on all of it. I touch on the U.S. Marshals. I touch on the CIA. I touch on the FBI. I touch on the Sheriff Department. I touch on the governors and all that shit. I'm getting into that part as I get ready to start chapter 4, because I'm about to finish chapter 3 between now and Sunday. Providing that nothing else comes up and goes wrong for the rest of the weekend, I'm going to finish chapter 3 between now and Sunday. Depends on what happens after I go to the movies. If I have enough money to go to the movies tomorrow, being that I just lent somebody my last 50 fucking bucks. So, if I have enough money to go to the movies tomorrow, I'm going to go see Blue Beetle. If I don't have enough money to go to the movies tomorrow, I'm going to just keep typing on the damn story, and I will work this weekend diligently to get this shit done. Now, in the story, the U.S. Marshal has secretly been sequestered, and we will probably do a flashback about that, or I'll just leave it off and put it in the epilogue or whatever the hell I just got the definition for, of how he got involved, because he's also Native, and MMIP is a very big thing to every Native on this planet, at least in the United States. And so he's going to explain everything as it runs around. Now, the sheriff is a nefarious fucker. A person who was running for the sheriff got taken out by an animal, but it was the sheriff's fault because the sheriff kind of was trying to take him out too. But this denies the sheriff accountability. But there was a survivor in that incident the sheriff doesn't know about because of the hands of fate and River, and I'm writing the story. So that's how that works. And hopefully it will give you enough of this non-fictional shit that will open up your eyes to make you think, okay, this shit can happen. Also, the cousin, who is mixed, he's half black and he's half Native. He's also gay. So he is gonna have a hell of a time. And then I'm putting everything that possibly can be put together in this story that you can legally do in real life, but it's a fictional story. And the thing is, there are some things that the law is not allowed to do. I know tribal law has certain things that they cannot do off of the reservation. I know they have certain things they can do on the reservation. I've been doing my research, so it's all going to be kind of my interpretation. So don't get mad. Just enjoy the read. It's going to have a happy ending. I don't write stories with bad endings unless I plan on having a conclusion. I don't write sequels if I can help it. So we're gonna work all this shit out to where everything is gonna come to where it has a decent ending and justice will be served to the two victims. That's your spoiler alert. I'm not gonna tell you how, because I'm still working out that shit in my head on how I'm going to end the book. Now remember, I'm only in chapter 3. I'm considering going to chapter 5. And the first chapter is 50 pages. The second chapter is 50 pages. It might have ran a little over, which is why the third chapter is definitely running over. And so if I go between 5 and 7 chapters, I want to keep the book less than 1,000 pages, because American Conan Weech is 275 pages. So I want I want to give you guys a story that you're gonna read and read and read and get through it, versus something that you're gonna be like, God damn, when does this chapter end? And that's the part of the problem with writing a book is I am not a professional writer. I have no desire to be a professional writer. But this story is a story that should have been written by somebody else. However, I'm the guy that dreamed it up, so I'm the guy that's writing it. So I'm the guy that controls the hand of fate of everybody in the story. There will be some racist shit. I've watered down the racism. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't use the N word. At least I don't think I used the N word. I don't think I used the H word. I did use paleface, and I did use squaw, because those were basically the main people that are gonna be in there. All the cops, except for like maybe one or two FBI agents, are all Native American. Everything in this thing is about Native Americans. And the Sundown cops, well, the Sundown sheriff, rather, it's only two of them. And one is white and one is white Hispanic. Alright? But he's going to have a secret reveal, too. So, that's going to be kind of thing. He also almost died already. And so did the cop named William. The sheriff is named Liam. I had two Williams, and I had to figure out how to make the computer write him as Liam. So Liam Bennett is the bad guy, and William Lowknife is the good cop. All right. So there are no corrupt cops on the reservation, at least not in this story, except for the one. There was one, which my character put into the hospital. My hero character put into the hospital. But that was because he had two jobs. He was the captain of the police force for the Moonstone Police Department, which doesn't really exist, but it's a Native American tribal police. He was the captain of that, but he was also the elected chief of the tribe. But his actions caused him to lose both his job and his physical mobility. We'll just leave it at that. He's going to have that back before the end of the show, but I wrote a very interesting part of the chapter that's a red herring, but not a red herring. So, there's a flashback, there's a couple flashbacks, there will be flashbacks, and so hopefully, once it's all said and done, once Sally's murder is solved, once Thomas James Jones' murder is solved, they're both cousins. Once those murders are solved, the parents just got back from Japan. They haven't made it to the reservation yet, but they got back from Japan. Their oldest son just picked them up. So that's where I left off at, because I wanted to print out another copy of the cast list so that I can add the governor, the mayor, the lieutenant governor, and all this just taking place in California. So, I'm making sure everything is straight, because UCLA is the college that she attended. They've already done all the investigations on her murder there. They've each recorded all the interviews. So let's put it this way. I don't want to ruin the book, but I'm going to put it to you this way. With today's world and technology, this would actually work. But this is what I call really good police work, because if I was a police officer now, I would not conduct interviews without recording everything, and I would let them know, look, I'm recording this interview. Body cam, GoPro, I'm recording this interview. So if you don't want to be interviewed, then you tell me now that you want a lawyer. However, they're not interviewing the suspects. They're interviewing all of the victim's friends. So to make sure that all the victim's friends are pretty much consistent, except for the guys that were fighting, that were also the victim's friends, because they got their asses kicked. They were martial artists. All of the stuff that was recorded, so they all had interviews, but they was recorded. They recorded every bit. They downloaded everything and sent it back to the U.S. Marshal's office, as well as the Moonstone Reservation, so that the chief, the captain rather, of the U.S. Marshal's office and the captain of the Moonstone Reservation Police have all of the same data. So you have three different versions of three different things from three different cops taking notes and doing everything, and instead of like typing out reports, they recorded everything and just downloaded on a fucking flash drive, so that everything is like in a collective. Now in the live stream, yes, they do live streaming. There's an autopsy. They've done it twice. So the first one was the live streamer's daughter. She's the first victim of the whole thing. Her name is no longer Sally. The cop that found her is her sister, who's also a cop, who's the older sister of the three children that belong to the Tomahawk family. Now, if that doesn't make it interesting, on the day she found her was the day she got promoted. So her day is just fucked. All right, that's all you need to know about that. Her day is just fucked. Again, I'm not trying to ruin the book. I'm not trying to ruin the story. So I'm gonna end the video before I give you too much information. But we're at the point now where they have two dead bodies, one on the reservation, one not on the reservation. But they got to pull some government strings to get the case taken back from the sheriff. The sheriff wants to end the case and just throw it under the books. The family just got back from Japan, so they want a thorough investigation because they're kin to a cop who was also a cop, and his daughter's a cop, and they want justice for their kid. And she's working with another kind of cop who's a U.S. Marshal, who's dating one of her partners because they broke up way back when the U.S. Marshal was a tribal police officer who just got out of the Army, and he made a lot of friends in the Army and a lot of connections, which is how he got such high rank so fast when he got out. He has a special knack for acknowledging things that most people would pass by. Like if a common housefly landed on my nose, he would be able to tell you it's a common housefly, and he would be able to tell you the eye color of the fly because he would have been that detailed to the fly. He was like, okay, how many of y'all look at a fly and looks before you kill it, look at the fly and see what color its eyes are? Most people don't pay attention, but most common house flies, their eyes are brown. Now, horseflies have brown and green eyes, and this is the kind of guy who's running the fucking show. His nickname is Detective Hell. There's two reasons for that. The guy he put in the hospital, because he beat the hell out of the guy, and he gives every ounce of hell when he's on a case. He does the thoroughest of thoroughest investigations. I mean, he leaves no stone unturned, and no stone under that stone unturned. That's how detail-oriented this guy is. So I could add that he could have like Asperger's, or he could have OCD, which is something I have. But if I do that, I will save it for the end of the book when they was like, yo, man, why are you so thorough with all your investigations? Oh, I'm not thorough. I just have OCD, which I'm thinking about having that as the last line. If you guys are watching this video and you think that's a cool line, let me know in the comments. Like, yeah, you should have that as the last line. Now, you don't have to do it, but I'm thinking about having it as the last line. I'm playing with it in my head. I'm not thorough. I just have OCD. Because I actually have OCD. I'm not diagnosed with it, but everybody who knows me know I have OCD. And if you guys haven't paid attention, the next time I do a video, watch it, and then go back and compare it to a video with the same day. Like if I film something on Friday, go watch the clothes that I had on Friday and Wednesday, and you will be able to tell by me what day of the fucking week it is. Because on Fridays and Wednesdays, because those are the days that I go to work, I have my waterproof pants on and either a yellow shirt or a high neon yellow green shirt. Today is Friday. I wore a high neon yellow. I can show you better than I can tell you. This is Friday. Every Friday, high neon yellow green. Every Wednesday, yellow. But both of the pants are the brown waterproof pants from Wrangler. Wrangler, you should give me a job. But anyway, I have all of my clothes set for the week and the next week, my underclothes. So, like these right here. Alright, so this is like a fucked up blue, and then this is blue, and these are blue. Alright? These really quickly. We have white and purple. We have gray underwear and a white shirt. Alright? So, by color of the week and by color of clothing, if you look at my videos, you will be able to tell what day of the week I actually filmed that shit. You know? So you would be able to tell without mercy and without remorse what color of the week that I filmed that shit. It's like, oh, he's wearing yellow. He went to work today. Now, on Monday, there's gray pants. There's a gray shirt, and it's generally the poker shirt. On Tuesday, it's either the Army shirt or the Avenger shirt and gray pants. On Wednesday, yellow and brown. On Thursday, it's gray on gray again. And then Friday, it's that. And then on Saturday, if you ever see me on Saturday, there probably hasn't been a Saturday since I got this X-Men and Marvel shirt. That every Saturday, it's tan pants and a white X-Men shirt or a white Marvel shirt. Can't really say it's X-Men, but they're X-Men on there. Cap's on there, Hulk's on there. Here we go. It's this shirt. So when you see me filming in this, unless it's the only thing I have, I'll be rocking this on Saturdays. So you'll know if I'm filming on a Saturday by that shirt. Now, the only time you won't know if I'm filming on Saturday is if I done something and that shirt got like totally sweated out or trashed and shit. So anyway, the book will be called Sundown. I hope that it gets done before October. I can't promise you that it will be published before 2025 unless by some grace or miracle I come up with $2,000 that can do that. At the current, I am saving for a Spider-Man costume. Let me see if I can show you what I'm looking for. Miguel O'Hara's second suit. Okay. I hate technology. So I'm looking to get this suit. I'm hoping to get this suit. So I want to reach out to my bro Courtney Monroe to see if he can get me that suit, because you guys already know that I have come on. Oh, for the love of God, man. And here we go. You already know that I have the base suit in the back, but that's the suit I want. So I want to get that, and I want to get some rustling shoes. This is why I hate technology. Just get out of that. Should have just clicked on images. It would have worked out so much better. Alright, so this is the suit I want, because I would look cool as fuck in that suit. Oh, for the love of God. This is pretty much the suit I have. The blue one. I also want a new Ben Riley suit. So we're gonna try to work on that. I talked to my bro Courtney Monroe, and I didn't hit the wrong damn thing. Okay, that should cover that. But anyway, the time is 11:05, so I'm gonna end this video with telling you guys just a little bit more about Sundown. Then we're going to call it a night. So I'm gonna have a happy ending. Just so that you guys know, I'm gonna have a happy ending. There will probably be some adult content in there because I'm debating on if I'm going to have a love making part of the book or not, since a relationship got rekindled, and I'll flip a coin for that. I probably won't make it graphic. No, I probably better not make it graphic, but it won't be for children because of the content. It won't be for children. There is a child in the book who lost his sister, and he's 6. So trying to think back to how I was when I was 6, when I lost my grandfather, and how to talk and how I had to learn about death from that. It's kind of difficult to remember and is difficult to word, so he doesn't get a lot of dialogue through the whole book. He's basically a story pusher for like the first chapter. I will be bringing him back up by the end of this chapter because at the end of this chapter, I want to get the funeral out the way, and I want to try to make the legalities of how the case, how the natives are going to try to get the case back into their hands, because technically it's not a native jurisdiction, even though the person is a native person and they're only half native. There's some complications going on. This is kind of the legal shit that you actually will have to deal with in real life. But I don't know the ramifications. I have these things called reader's notes. Let me see if I got one in the story that I have. I know it's one on the computer already, but I have reader's notes. And reader's notes are for you and me to keep track of what the fuck is going on. Alright? Because sometimes you get the writing, you get the forgetting shit. And all the dialogue is italic writing, but all the base information, like the shit that's actually going on, is regular. Well, goddamn it, it's right at the beginning. So the opening chapter, reader's note, here. On an unnamed Native American reservation anywhere in America, however, for the sake of this story, this is a Lakota reservation in Northern California. This is fictional. The name of the reservation is called the Moonstone Reservation. So it's a reader's note. That's the first goddamn thing you're going to read when you get the book. Chapter 1, College Girl Murdered on a Reservation. It's not that difficult. I forgot what I called Chapter 2, and I think Chapter 3 is called Justice for All. I can't remember, but it is written. It's not done, but it is being written as we speak. So I think what I'll do is after that, I will make a title page, I guess. I'll probably put it at the end of the book, and then probably copy and paste it. But I don't really think I want to do that. I think I just want to put it in the book so that you go through Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and when you get to the end of the book, it'll have Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and the names of them. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm not a professional writer. I've only worked on 2 books, and only one is being published as we speak. I do not intend to make this a career, but if that does happen, that would be great. I would much rather have my acting career versus a writing career, unless I have full say on if it becomes a TV show, if it becomes a movie. I want full say in whatever the fuck's going on. So, as the story will go on, they're going to have a happy ending. I'm also debating, so I'm asking you now, if I should have the ghosts of the victims come back and how I should handle justice for them, whether it be ghostly justice or whether it be physically justice, because the ghosts deserve justice. I do have their ancestor comes back to take one of them, and then the first victim comes back to take the second victim into the afterlife, because of it would be easier for people who die to go with someone who has died with his family than to just have some random ass angel show up and like, all right, dude, time to go. So the other reason why I did this is because that if I die, I would much rather have my father, or my father and my surrogate father, as well as my stepfather and both of my uncles come, as well as my great grandmother, come to greet me as I leave my body. Like, you've earned your way into heaven. Let's go. So for the story, I did that. I had the great grandmother come back to visit the granddaughter. The great grandmother accompanies the granddaughter to come get the great grandson. All right. So this way that everybody is on the same page. And it's their great grandmother, so it might be their grandmother. I'm not exactly sure. No, I'm confusing myself. But anyway, it is a relative. Let's just put it that way. It's a relative, because I don't want to add more people to this damn book than necessary. It is a relative that comes to get one from the afterlife and then returns with the other one to take the other one from the afterlife. and the other one, she's still new to the game of being dead. So she tells the second victim to not look up because when he realizes he's dead, his body is in a place that it shouldn't be, and how he died from the impact, as well as the thing that's going to turn the tide, and the same thing that did her in did him in, but he died from other stuff. But this thing connects them together. I don't want to tell you what it is because I don't want to ruin the book before the book ever gets published. But let's just say the autopsy, what I just finished writing, like 2 days ago, is going to turn the tide, and this is where legalities are going to come in on jurisdiction and stuff like that. But I don't want to drag that part too much out. I just want to maybe have like a small section of this fight, and then have the governors and the mayors have a little bit of an argument, have the higher law enforcement all have a little bit of an argument to see who really has more jurisdiction. But I do know, for the most part, and this I know can be considered legal, or a legality, or a legal loophole. If I kill two people with the same gun, that gun, who's ever running the first case, if they can connect my case, the first case, to me and connect me to the second case, again, this is a legal loophole, which has to be debated out. They can connect me and I can do time for both, or they will trial me separate and have two different things going on. And the only reason why I know this is a legal legality is because of the murders that happened here in Charlottesville. Damn it, what the heck are their names? Two young ladies that were white that were killed here by the same guy. His name was Jesse Matthews, by the way. One girl got killed during the Metallica concert, and then the other girl got killed walking downtown. And I believe she was from England, while the other girl was from Harrisonburg. But Mr. Matthews, he got hunted down by the U.S. Marshals, by the way, which is why I use the U.S. Marshals to be the main police of this, because there's almost nowhere that the U.S. Marshals can't go. Same thing with the game warden, same thing with the sheriff, which is why the sheriff has a lot more jurisdiction, supposedly. But there are things that will make this book a little bit, if you're the sheriff, you don't want to be the sheriff in this book. Trust me, you really don't want to be the sheriff, because the sheriff is, let's just say he's connected to Jason. And that's all you're going to get. To give you any more would be to spoil the book. Alright, fuck it, I'm going to spoil it. The sheriff is the father of the murderer. Alright, so that's why he wants to keep the case, so that he can keep the case as far away from his son as possible. However, the second murder victim was a little bit more than the murderer could handle. So that's why he did the most damage, because there was a fucking fight, and Jason and his buddy was getting the shit beat out of them by the gay guy, and then he escaped, but he got wounded really, really badly, and then they had set up everything to basically unalive him on a dirt road. But they also had to have a distraction to keep the sheriff and the deputy busy. Unfortunately, as luck would have it, the deputy stumbled into this fucking shit. And so the deputy and one of the natives pretty much became quick buddies because they were under attack. And you get nothing else. And all this happens in chapter 2 and 3. So chapter 3 is where I left off. Chapter 2 is where all the action happens for the second murderer. And then we're in chapter 3. So hopefully this book is going to give me some precedent. It's also hopefully going to open the eyes of everybody in the alphabet community, and it's going to open the eyes of everybody in the native community. And also, since the guy in the victim, the second victim, he's part native and he's part black. He's very well known in the alphabet community. I left some of that out, but since he's unalived, um, at the funeral we're gonna chat about that. So that being said, I am your host Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Get ready, cause here comes Echo. There's a lot of things that I can do. Singing isn't one of them, but we can't give me no credit for not trying. You can only give me credit for trying. Anyway, brace yourself, cause here comes Echo. Be seeing.